Let's stop sugarcoating it. Yes, they hurt you, and no, it wasn't an accident. But here's the real question. Are you going to let someone else's deliberate cruelty define your destiny? They did it on purpose. And you felt it. Every word, every silence, every calculated move meant to cut you down. But instead of holding on to that truth, what did you do? You questioned yourself. You asked, asterisk, did I overreact? Asterisk, asterisk. Was it really that bad? Asterisk, you made excuses for them. You softened the story, and in the process you made your pain feel smaller than it was. Here's what no one tells you enough. Just because you're strong doesn't mean you have to be silent. Just because you're resilient doesn't mean you should tolerate cruelty. When someone hurts you deliberately, that is not a reflection of your weakness. It's a spotlight on their character. But society often teaches us to move on, to stay graceful, to take the high road. And yes, grace is power, but so is truth. And your truth matters. You don't need to justify your hurt. You don't need to explain your reaction to anyone. Feeling deeply is not a flaw, it's a superpower. Pretending like it didn't affect you might win temporary applause, but acknowledging your pain is what builds long-term strength. When you recognize that someone asterisk meant asterisk to hurt you, you stop internalizing their actions. You stop asking asterisk, what did I do wrong, asterisk, and start understanding asterisk. This says more about them. Asterisk, and from that space of clarity and truth you begin to heal. It takes courage to admit that you were hurt, but it takes even more courage to own that hurt without shame. That's where freedom begins. Not in forgetting, not in pretending, but in standing tall, looking the wound in the eye and saying, asterisk, yes, it hurt, but I'm still here, and I'm not hiding anymore. Asterisk, we grow up thinking strength looks like silence, like holding it all together no matter how much it hurts. We're told to smile, to be strong, to not let them see us cry, but that's not strength, that's armor. Real strength is what happens when you take the armor off and let yourself be seen, fully, in all your mess, your emotions, your truth. It takes incredible bravery to admit that something broke you. To say, asterisk, yes, I cared, yes, I'm hurting, yes, I trusted them and they betrayed me. Asterisk, that isn't weakness. That's the most honest kind of courage there is. Vulnerability isn't about falling apart, it's about allowing space for healing to begin. When you pretend nothing affected you, you bury pain deep inside you where it festers, grows bitter, and holds you back. But when you let yourself feel, without judgment, you begin to process, release, and rise. People may call you too sensitive, or say you're overreacting. Let them. Their inability to understand your depth doesn't make your emotions invalid. It makes them unready for the kind of truth you live in. The world doesn't need more people who fake strength. It needs more people who show others how to be real, how to feel, how to heal. Vulnerability builds connection. It says, asterisk, me too, I've been there, you're not alone. Asterisk, and when you embrace it, you tap into a different kind of power. One that doesn't depend on walls but on wisdom. One that doesn't fear being broken because it knows how to rebuild stronger. So go ahead. Cry if you need to. Speak if you want to. Share what hurt you, not for sympathy, but for liberation, because there's nothing more powerful than someone who has felt deeply and still chooses to stand. When someone goes out of their way to hurt you, it's natural to look inward. You ask yourself what you did wrong, what you could have done differently, or why you weren't enough. That reaction is human, but it's also misplaced. Because their choice to hurt you wasn't about your worth, it was about their wounds, their fears, their insecurities. People who intentionally hurt others are often operating from a place of internal chaos. They project their own pain because they haven't figured out how to deal with it. They tear others down because they feel powerless. They manipulate, shame, or belittle because control gives them a false sense of strength. Think about it. Truly secure, healed people don't look for opportunities to cause pain. They don't take pleasure in someone else's vulnerability. So when someone chooses cruelty, it's not a reflection of your weakness. It's a mirror of their character. The moment you realize this, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself. You stop replaying the situation on a loop, thinking of all the ways you could have prevented the hurt. Instead, you begin to separate their behavior from your identity. You begin to understand that their actions say everything about who asterisk they asterisk are, not who asterisk you asterisk are. This clarity gives you power. It allows you to step out of the role of the victim and into the role of the observer. You're no longer entangled in their dysfunction. You see it for what it is, a reflection of their inner battles, not a verdict on your value, and that's the beginning of emotional freedom. You're not here to carry their burdens or bleed from wounds they caused on purpose. You're here to rise, to protect your peace, and to never let someone else's brokenness become your identity. Pain is inevitable, whether it comes from betrayal, rejection, failure, or loss. It's part of being human. But what you do with that pain, that's where your power begins. You can let pain break you, or you can let it build you. The difference is a choice, not a feeling. Most people think strength is found in avoidance, in pretending they're untouched. But true power is born when you decide to face the pain and use it as fuel. When you say this will not define me, it will refine me. Every scar has a story. Every heartbreak holds a lesson. Every time someone doubted you, it gave you another reason to believe in yourself. Pain sharpens you. It forces you to look deeper, fight harder, and grow stronger. It pushes you out of comfort and into evolution. And while it may not be fair, it is an opportunity. You're not meant to carry your pain forever. You're meant to transform it, channel it into your purpose. Let it become the fire behind your ambition, the clarity behind your decisions, the wisdom in your voice. Use it to stand taller, speak louder, and love yourself more fiercely than ever before. The people who thrive after pain aren't the ones who avoid it. They're the ones who alchemize it. They rise from the ashes not because they were never burned, but because they learned how to rise. So the next time life knocks you down, don't just survive, rebuild with fire in your eyes. Turn every why me into watch me, because the power you've been looking for, it's been buried inside your pain all along. Dig deep, rise up. Let the hurt become your weapon, and let the world see exactly what you're made of. There's a moment in life when you realize not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone who wants your energy, your time, or your loyalty has earned the right to it. That's when boundaries stop being optional and start becoming necessary. We're often taught to associate boundaries with being cold, rude, or selfish. Especially if you're someone who leads with empathy, saying no can feel like a betrayal, but here's the truth. Protecting your peace is not a betrayal. It's a declaration of self-respect. When someone consistently disrespects you, drains you, or causes harm, intentional or not, it's not your job to keep giving. It's your job to recognize the pattern and step back. Setting a boundary doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop bleeding for people who wouldn't offer you a band-aid. And yes, guilt will try to creep in. It'll whisper things like, maybe I'm being too sensitive, or they didn't mean it like that. But guilt isn't always a sign you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it's just a sign you're doing something different, something healthy, something new. The people who truly care about you will understand and respect your boundaries. The ones who don't, they benefited from your lack of them. That's not your problem anymore. You don't owe constant access to anyone. You don't owe explanations for protecting your mental and emotional space. Your energy is sacred. Treat it that way. Choose peace over people. Pleasing, choose clarity over confusion, and remember, saying no to what harms you is saying yes to everything that can heal you. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're doors that protect everything worth keeping in, including you. There's a moment in life when you realize not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone who wants your energy, your time, or your loyalty has earned the right to it. That's when boundaries stop being optional and start becoming necessary. We're often taught to associate boundaries with being cold, rude, or selfish. Especially if you're someone who leads with empathy, saying no can feel like a betrayal. But here's the truth. Protecting your peace is not a betrayal. It's a declaration of self-respect. When someone consistently disrespects you, drains you, or causes harm, intentional or not, it's not your job to keep giving. It's your job to recognize the pattern and step back. Setting a boundary doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop bleeding for people who wouldn't offer you a band-aid. And yes, guilt will try to creep in. It'll whisper things like, maybe I'm being too sensitive, or they didn't mean it like that. But guilt isn't always a sign you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it's just a sign you're doing something different, something healthy, something new. The people who truly care about you will understand and respect your boundaries. The ones who don't, they benefited from your lack of them. That's not your problem anymore. You don't owe constant access to anyone. You don't owe explanations for protecting your mental and emotional space. Your energy is sacred. Treat it that way. Choose peace over people pleasing, choose clarity over confusion, and remember, saying no to what harms you is saying yes to everything that can heal you. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're doors that protect everything worth keeping in, including you. You are not the story they wrote about you. You are not the villain in someone else's version of events, nor are you the broken character stuck in the chapter of pain they left you in. At any moment, you have the power to pick up the pen and rewrite the narrative. When someone hurts you intentionally, it's easy to get stuck in their version of who you are: weak, replaceable, not good enough. But that was their asterisk projection, not your truth. They don't get to be the author of your identity. That job belongs to you, and only you. Rewriting the narrative doesn't mean pretending the pain didn't happen. It means owning your story, including the scars, and choosing what they mean going forward. Maybe that betrayal taught you to trust yourself more. Maybe that loss revealed your strength. Maybe the rejection redirected you to something better. You get to decide what comes next. You don't have to stay in a loop of bitterness or resentment. You can choose resilience. You can decide that this moment, no matter how hard, is not your ending, but your transformation. Take back your voice, reclaim your worth, speak of your past not with shame but with power. Say asterisk, yes, I was hurt. Yes, I was underestimated, but I am not staying there. I am rewriting this. Asterisk, turn every "why did this happen to me" into "what did this awaken in me." Let every painful chapter become a plot twist that leads to your greatest rise. This is your story. Your pain doesn't own you. Your choices do. So choose to evolve, choose to rise, choose to tell a story that ends not in survival, but in triumph. Because your truth is stronger than any lie they ever tried to write about you.